Anonymous tips reveal new details about concerns with the Guymon Police Department. The Caddo Nation is mourning the death of a man who was the tribe's last fluent language speaker. We learned tonight that an Oklahoman has been executed in Syria. And we're all shocked and saddened by the death of a 1980s TV icon. The best in Oklahoma journalism is next on Oklahoma Memo. Welcome to Tuesday. My name is Ryan Welton, your host here at Oklahoma Memo. It's a newsletter that we send out Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock to try to get you on top of everything that's happening in the Sooner State. It's designed to connect you to the best journalism in Oklahoma. And I start today with the weather. They say wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. That's what Will Rogers said. However, as we get into the dog days of summer, we realize that each day is kind of like the next. It's going to be hot. It feels like somebody turned on the furnace outside. The dog days of summer are finally upon us. However, I have managed to take most of my walks each day. I try to take 3 around the neighborhood. It's about a mile long, and I usually get 2 of them in, which gets me up to about 8,000 steps. And while I walk, I admire the beautiful landscaping. Our neighborhood in northwest Oklahoma City either has some really talented folks or they can afford great gardeners. Periodically, if nobody's around, I'll use my Picture This app to sneak a photo of the flowers and learn a little bit about the plants because it's important to know what will grow in the area where you live and where you're planting. Each year for the past 4 or 5, it's probably been 6 or 7. I've tried to plant some flowers in our flower beds, but most of the time, those things are dead by June, and that included this year, especially the flowers that I tried to plant, or the flowers that I tried to start in a pot with the idea that you would transplant them later. Either way, big mistake. But I did have some successes this year, and I wanted to tell you about them. First off, I discovered a site from Oklahoma State University called Oklahoma Proven Plant Selections for Oklahoma. Bookmark that site. I've included a link to it in today's Oklahoma Memo. It's a great site. It will give you all of the flowers, both annual and perennial, that are proven to work here in Oklahoma. And the 2 that really worked for me this year, and it's dumb luck that I happened to pick the right things. But the first is called Coleus, which the OSU website describes as, quote, a time-honored plant that is quite diverse and full of character. It is well known for its attractive foliage colors, patterns, and forms, and has long been a great color plant for shade, as well as indoor a houseplant. Many cultivars are now full sun tolerant and are one of Oklahoma's best full sun foliage plants. So the Coleus I put in an area that doesn't get all the sun. It gets some, but not all the sun. It's thriving. It's been crazy. I planted it. It took off. I put a picture in today's memo. And then the one that I was really hoping would grow, it took a while for it to get going, but it's what they call yellow bells or esperanza. I call it it's like the Chuck Norris of plants. It just refuses to go down without a fight. It looks at 96 degrees on the thermometer and says, let's go, make it 114. What do I care? It really loves the heat. And I didn't think it was going to make it at the beginning because I was overwatering it. It's the biggest mistake you can make in gardening is drowning your plants before they have a chance to thrive. Both the documentation for this particular plant and the OSU website sang its praises. Yellow bells is a tropical shrub used as an annual in Oklahoma. It can reach a height of 3 feet and produces striking yellow flowers above glossy green leaves from summer until frost. Give this plant a southern exposure. It loves the heat and sun. Well, I'll be darned, it absolutely does. And now it's going crazy with growth. And it tells me that it could still be here by the time frost comes. In these parts, that might not be until November. Well, I'm glad somebody thrives in this heat because I don't necessarily. You can message me anytime at news@oklahomamemo.com. And tonight's big story comes from J.C. Hallman of Oklahoma Watch. The headline, Anonymous source sheds light on Panhandle police impunity. This is an investigation that goes back to February when Oklahoma Watch uncovered a Texas County DA-run drug task force ticketing scam. That's a mouthful. This scam was allegedly targeting truckers passing through the Panhandle. But since then, and I'll read now from paragraph 3, many of the tips received over the past several months have described local residents' fear of law enforcement and the judicial system in District 1, a wide swath of land that includes Harper County and the Panhandle and is home to 31,000 people. This is one of the ways in which journalism really serves the public. It's to investigate and to dig deep into stories like this. It's not rabble-rousing or trouble-causing. This is holding power to account. I'll continue, fourth paragraph. In a slight twist, the tip from the former Guymon police officer cited potential dissent within the police force, particularly regarding the since discontinued ticketing scheme. And the second big story, this one from Sarah Lais at KOSU. The headline, Keep Going. Efforts to preserve Caddo language continue despite death of last fluent speaker. The Caddo Nation is mourning the loss of beloved elder Edmund Johnson, the lead goes, the tribal nation's last fluent speaker. But despite his recent passing, Caddo language preservation efforts continue with his legacy in mind. That story's from KOSU, linked up in Oklahoma Memo, and it reminds me of when I moved from Muskogee to Henrietta back in the mid to late 80s. And Henrietta High School, which is in Okmulgee County, Creek Nation, at that time, they still offered a class in Cree, the spoken language of the Muskogee people, Muskogee, Muskogee, or MVSKOKE. I'm not sure which is correct, but that's Muskogee Media as opposed to Muskogee Nation. But even in the 80s, they were still trying to teach the language in schools. And so each tribe has its own language, and they want that to be carried on. Well, this story from KOSU details the last 3 years of Elena Talate's work as the Caddo Nation's language preservationist, centering around her learning from the few remaining Caddo fluent speakers. I'm taking straight from the article. The language, which is a member of the Caddoan family, is considered severely endangered. Read about the loss of Edmund Johnson and Elena's work on KOSU.org, and I've got it linked up from today's memo. Quick break. Look, your business needs a podcast. Not for downloads or for vanity metrics, not even for subscribers who theoretically could turn into customers. No, podcasts in 2025 are all about a broader digital marketing strategy. They're all about audio and video. Did you know that podcasts are video also? Video clips for YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Snap, whatever comes next. Blog posts written straight from your own conversations. That's right, those podcasts can turn into articles that go on your site that could turn into earned media. And those articles could also pop up in those AI summaries and Google snippets. That's what the next generation is using to search, to find you. But hey, who's got time to build all of that, right? Well, I do, your venerable host. My name is Ryan, the host of Oklahoma Memo, and I'm also the founder of Doable Digital Media. Send me your CEO speaking at a conference, leading a panel discussion, or even a sharp internal training, and I'll turn it into a full podcast with music, cover art, hosting, clips, the works, all included, $500 an episode. It is a bargain. Message me at ryan@doabledigitalmedia.com or news@oklahomamemo.com. Let's make this happen. And now it's time for the Oklahoma Rundown, from Hooker to Hugo, from Lawton to Jay. The most important, most compelling stories from around the state. Here's how I do it. Every day I visit every news website in Oklahoma, every one that I can think of, and I know most of them. And I look for important stories, compelling stories, things that you need to know about, or things that may interest you. I try to balance as much as I can between small town and big city. Big city wins out a little bit because of sheer volume, but I just try to get you up to speed as quickly as possible. There are about 25 links in every day's rundown, and I share 4 or 5 with you here on the podcast. So let's start. This one really sort of tugged at my heartstrings. It was Nehemiah Frank in the Black Wall Street Times wrote a poignant tribute to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who died on family vacation. Of course, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, I did not know this, named after Malcolm X and Ahmad Jamal. I'm a piano player. I'm a jazz piano player. I'm not of the quality of Ahmad Jamal, but I was like, wow, okay, respect, love that. But Nehemiah Frank in the Black Wall Street Times wrote a very poignant tribute to Malcolm-Jamal Warner and his impact on the Black community. I thought it was great. Please go check it out. Maybe not the most important story of the day, maybe not an Oklahoma connection, but I thought a great piece of journalism. Other stories from KOSU. Shocking news out of Syria, where an Oklahoman was executed alongside his family during a clash in Syria, confirmed by Senator James Langford. Also from KOCO, woman allegedly killed by ex-partner in Bethany filed 2 protective orders prior to her death. As somebody who has worked in a newsroom for 2 decades, VPOs won't save you from this. They serve a purpose, but I don't know how much they actually curb violence. From the Oklahoman, former Choctaw High School choir teacher was sexual predator, Attorney General says. It was a real surprising story, and now we hear that the Attorney General is going to be prosecuting it. In Tulsa, there was a 3-year-old missing since July 4th. That child has been found. That child is safe, but you're going to want to read the story behind it. Some pretty shocking allegations. That's from KJRH, 2 News, Oklahoma. 3 people arrested in connection to a homicide in Okmulgee from Fox 23. And let me get to a couple small town stories here real quick. From the Tahlequah Daily Press. So I had to not say cockfighting on TikTok because I was pretty sure that would put me in vertical video jail. However, from Tahlequah Daily Press, cockfighting is still a felony offense, but fights ongoing. That story's behind a paywall, but I am very curious how this reporter discovered this. And finally, from News on 6, this is a really, really big story. Here's the headline. Ascension St. John becomes first level 1 trauma center in Northeast Oklahoma. Did you know that until this, that if you were injured in something that would have been considered level 1 trauma, bad car wreck, shooting, that you would actually have to be brought to Oklahoma City, which would, those are life-saving minutes. Time's a wasted in that situation. So finally, Tulsa has a level 1 trauma center. This is a big, big, big deal. The story there on News on 6. And that is it for a late edition of this podcast. I didn't get to do this until Tuesday day, but that's the way it's going to be sometimes. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm open to anything that you would like to hear on this podcast. We can make these as long as you'd like. I can have guests, you name it. But the main goal is to get you connected with the best journalism in Oklahoma, make you a little smarter at work, make you a better informed citizen. These are all good things. So for Oklahoma Memo, I'm Ryan Welton. Play us out.